I am. Hi. Welcome to today's virtual tech fest. Welcome everyone. We should just give a few minutes for others to join because we just shared the link live for others. So we're starting in a few minutes. We're just waiting for others to join so we can get started. Hi everyone, welcome to Virtual Tech Fest 2024. I am your host, Iro Nkechi Omolola. We just will get started in a few minutes. Once it's 10:10, we are starting the event. So try to reach out to others that have subscribed but are yet to join the event so they don't miss out from today's event. Yes, 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 we have started. Our first virtual tech fest 2024, and the program is organized by Tech with Hero community. The main purpose, as you all know, Tech with Hero is a platform that helps, community platform that helps people connecting newbies and techies to experts in the industry, because we realize that a lot of people need the right information to actually up their game in the tech space. And that's why we are connecting people that have been in the space for a number of times, like for years, and they are doing so well in the tech space, to come share their experience and share information with us for us to like be informed on how these things are being done, and also ask questions, because really I'm expecting everybody to have a lot of questions that they want to ask. You can start dropping your questions in the chat. We have a community member in the chat that is tracking down questions, so you can drop your questions in the chat basically. We have our three guests here. They are ready for us. They have their information and everything power packed to dish out for us today. We have Wilson Ahamisi, we have Grace Olayinka, and we have Echizunachi Awa. They are going to be sharing information based on different topics that have been set down for them, and reached out to community members on topics that they want to hear from these people, and then we have shared the topics to them so they can come share information and also experiences alongside. And they can also answer our questions if we have questions that we want to ask them. So I want everyone to have this open mind, because really you really learn a lot from this. Because I personally want to learn from them. So you also need to open your mind so that you can learn from them. And our first speaker, our first guest is going to be Wilson Ahamisi. Is going to be talking basically on how to he's going to be talking basically on navigating the pathway to tech, a beginner's guide for the beginners, because a lot of persons are actually just like getting started in tech, and they really don't know their whereabouts or navigate their pathways to tech. Some persons are having a lot of questions, and that's why we have Wilson Hamilton to share his own experience alongside information or guidelines that could help us to actually scale through this journey in tech space. So let me give you like the brief profile about Wilson while you get yourself ready for the event. It's a short period of time. The event is not a long hour, it's very short. So that's why we need to get everybody involved. If you have friends that have not joined yet, kindly reach out to them, because it's not a long event. It's a very short time framed event. So um
Welcome Wilson Ahamison. He is a passionate and seasoned software engineer with a strong proficiency in mobile apps development. He specializes in crafting innovative solutions using Kotlin and Java. He is currently an Android engineer with Zalando, Berlin, Germany. He brings a wealth of experience in the information technology and services industry. His career is marked by a proven track record of successfully delivering high quality projects and solutions. He loves tackling complex challenges and translating ideas into efficient, user friendly applications. He is a die-hard football fanatic, proudly supporting Arsenal since 2005. He also loves exploring new cities and dancing. Once again, welcome Wilson Ahamison, our guest for Virtual Tech Fest 2024.
So we would have Wilson to come on stage and talk to us on navigating the pathway to tech, a beginner's guide. Hi, Wilson.
Hello, Lola. How are you doing? Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, better. Good. All of
I'm
the
sure
above.
you're. I'm sure you're ready for us.
Yeah. Let's get this started. Let's get this started.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can have the
good
floor.
morning. Good morning, or good whatever the time is where you where you will be joining from, and at the time you'll be watching this. Yeah, I am Wilson, and I'll be taking you through the beginner's guide, at least from my experience, the beginner's guide to the world of tech. Yep, let's get on. Let's get on that quickly. Lola, can you please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, perfecto. Yep. Firstly, I want to thank you for this platform. I've heard testimonies, and I continue to see how the purpose this platform has been serving in the tech space, and not just the tech space, in the human development space. Yeah, thank you for connecting guys together. Thank you for being that bridge between the gap. Yeah. And here we go. Today we're going to be going through basically some things from my experience, which I feel uh, a beginner can do, or which can make the journey for someone starting his tech career. And remember, there are beginners in different levels. A
True.
beginner can be someone who has 4 years of experience. A beginner can also be someone who has 2 months of experience, and a beginner is also
True.
someone who is aspiring to start,
Mm.
and all like, what is going on here? Yeah. So till today, I would first require that you do this for me. Um, in the chats, for those of us actively listening, just how many years, months, or days of experience
Do you
do you
have?
yeah,
Okay.
that would also guide, serve as a guideline towards the Q&A. And how many years of experience, or remember, I am looking to start, is also a position. I think of starting next year. Is you're also a beginner, so if that's the bracket you also fall into, you can share that. And you're stuck. You are a mobile
Okay.
developer like myself. You are a QA expert. You are a data analyst. Yeah, just share those two facts for me while we hop onto the slide. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, today generally would be going through some topics, but it will be majorly based on, we'll leave some time for Q&A in the end, but we'll just go through why we are in tech, why each and every one of us is here, how and where do we start. Now we have started. I think that's a bracket where a lot of people fall under. Now we have started. What can we do? And some some disclaimers. I tag them. I tag them disclaimers. Yeah, and we have been coding, we have been learning. How do we bridge that gap from sitting at home learning, attending a boot camp, to searching for a job? Yeah, for some more experienced folks that are also on the call, we'll just briefly give us some also tips where we can improve, and yeah, we'll take some questions. So let's dive in. I'm Wilson Ahamisi. An Android engineer. I've been developing Android apps for quite a while, not too long. I think since it should be 6+ years now, 6+ years. Yeah, wow, time
Indeed. Indeed.
time is actually flying. But I've been working professionally as an Android engineer for 6+ years now. I currently work with Zalando, based in Berlin, Germany. Yeah, and like you stated on the slides, to write bios is is not the best for me. So let's make this as simple as possible. From Nigeria, based in Germany, in Berlin. Love Arsenal, as you can see from the picture. Love Arsenal, love exploring cities, but I don't like to travel. I don't like the hassle in between travels. But I love visiting new cities. I love to dance. And I love meeting people. Yeah, I love meeting people. So hopefully, I can meet more people from from this conversation. Yeah, let's dive right in. Why tech? I meet a lot of people, or a few people I'm mentoring. I always like to get an insight into their understanding. Why are you in this tech space? Why do you want to learn tech? What is bringing you in? And the answers are usually in a wide range, but so many people, like, it's a bright career prospect right now, and yeah, that is true. Tech is now, basically. So many people, like, I love to build stuff. Yeah, but I think that is also true. But I think one question we all must ask ourselves is, why are we doing this? basically. For me, I think I'm a chemical engineer. I studied chemical engineering in uni, and towards the end of uni, I picked up this, and it was kind of fun because I had the godlike factor of building something and instantly seeing your creation looking at you. You adjust the button and the button is there. So this creativity kind of moved me to continue. Yeah. So it's a question where we all need to ask ourselves, why are you here? And that will also help you identify what you need to do. That's going to help you in the difficult times, because as we go on this on the talk, you would notice that there would be difficult times. And next is, how do I start? Depending on your level of let's say experience, some of us have started, some of us are yet to start. Yeah. So depending on that level of experience, you for those who are yet to start, there are a few questions. Do I need a degree to start? No, you don't. I think tech is one of those few skills where you are actually valued more by your knowledge, which should and can be tested and will be tested, than your certifications. So do I need to take a certain certificate? Or yeah, those certificates may depends on your niche. If you're a engineer, your AWS certifications may be helpful, but not as helpful as um, knowing your stuff. Yeah. So you don't need a degree. You just need to learn. If you are still in the space of what is this magic, what is going on here, what, you can also elevate yourself by studying and asking questions. Where can I get materials? I think the benefit or the good thing of tech is everything you need to learn is available online. You can join up communities, and I know it can be overwhelming. I know how overwhelming it was when I started some time ago, but you can always find easier solutions by joining communities and ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Yeah. And there are too many languages, too many things to learn. There's Java, there's JavaScript. I remember speaking to some people, and what is the difference between Java and JavaScript? What am I going to do? Which too many things am I using? The questions don't end. And one thing I love to tell people, especially beginners, is there are no dumb questions, because the only way you can leave that position of not necessarily ignorance, or that position of less knowledge, is by informing yourself, and you inform yourself through research and asking questions. So please ask questions. If you don't know who to ask questions, look for Wilson, ask me, and I will respond to you. Maybe not as fast, but I would respond. Yeah. And where do I start? So, for those of us who have not started, the tech can be tech. I like to use this analogy. I was speaking to a friend, and she said this. She's a beginner also, and she's like, the tech space is like science. There are so many courses. There is biology, there is geography, there is engineering, which so many children. And I love to correct people. I speak to some beginners, and they say, okay, I'm learning JavaScript, and I'm learning Python, and I'm learning Java, and a programming language is not necessarily a career path. Um, it's like saying I know English, or for engineering students, or for a scientist saying I'm learning maths. What are you where are you looking to apply those maths? Is it engineering maths? Is it applied maths? Uh, so we should learn to distinguish this. Identify what niche you want to work on, and the required skill set. For a beginner, writing down notes should be important. Yeah, will be important. Identify the required skill set, identify what you need, the niche, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions about what interests you, ask questions about what you don't understand, because it's, I often find some people after 2 3 months of trying to learn backend development with Java and Spring Boot, they move. Okay, I want to now learn Android. I want to now no ask questions and create a roadmap. That is important. I think one of the best decisions I made for my career starting was create a roadmap. Create a roadmap. You understand? No matter what it is, I want to be a backend engineer. Fine. I want to be a UI UX designer. Fine. Where do I see myself in 6 months of doing this? Where will do I see myself in 1 year of doing this? Where do I see myself in, let's say, I want to start applying for internships after 1 year. These are the required skills I need from the job descriptions. How can you identify and find your required skills? Go and look for the jobs. You can see for an Android engineer like myself, depending on your level of experience, architecture, RX Java or coroutines, that's reactive programming, depending on what you're doing as a backend engineer, as a QA engineer, even as a product manager, or irrespective of the field, get this roadmap, write out clearly the skills you need. You get, write out clearly the skills you need and realistic milestones. Then resources are everywhere. But one thing I love to advise people is stick to a given path. You understand? You are learning fundamentals of JavaScript from platform A. You pick up fundamentals from JavaScript from platform C, because there are so many platforms. At the end of 2 weeks, you discover you are still learning fundamentals of JavaScript, but from 5 different platforms. Pick up a robust platform, or one or two. It doesn't mean you should not go out and search when there are confusions or things you need clarity. But pick up that and ride with it. Don't be afraid to dump some learning resources, and you dive in. The next thing, now we have started. We have actually begun this journey. Like a few of us that are on this call, and a few of us that will be listening to it. We have been doing this now for 1 year. We have been doing this now for 6 months. What do we expect? What from my experience, I would like to say this. The So many people come into the tech space, and I recently have noticed this certain Russian mentality. Yeah, everybody wants to get in quickly, 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 and now wants to be a software engineer. Now wants to be tech debt will always catch up with you, especially in a space like this where you are not judged on certification but on your day to day. So I advise people, learn the fundamentals of your field and learn them well. Like, speaking as an Android engineer now, or even as a software engineer, I know things like my algorithms and data structures, really important. Design pattern, really important. Understanding object-oriented programming, functional programming, depending on all those things, really important. I see some people skim through Java and just learn the syntax: A, B, C, D, if else, while true, and we forget the fund. It will catch up in the future. settle down and learn these things. Learn to master these things. You may not master them initially because you have a roadmap. That's the advantage of your roadmap, because you have time frames, but revisit them. Be grounded in the fundamentals. Once you start learning, I tell people the easiest way to assimilate is building projects. You can go through. I think I once upon a time I was also in the situation where I would follow a YouTube tutorial or follow a course tutorial on Udemy, and while I'm following the tutorial, I'm like, oh, boy, they work, oh, it's working, it's working. And immediately after that tutorial, I understand nothing that is going on again. Or I read the documentation, I read this article, and I'm nodding my head like someone that's actually understanding what they're saying. And immediately after that, we are gone. The way this stuff sticks is by creating solutions. Creating solutions, no matter how small, the solutions must not be instantly used, but build projects. It doesn't matter if it's a YouTube clone, like so many people do. It doesn't matter if it's just a single screen with multiple lists. It doesn't matter if, no matter what it is, try to get your hands dirty. Again, I may be speaking more from the perspective of a software engineer. As a UI designer, as just I don't even know how how you want to get better without creating mock screens as a UI designer. So you just have to get your hands dirty. Small project, please. In PG, no go do pass yourself. Don't go on. Don't go on the one and say you want to clone Wema Bank, or you want to clone build an entire bank app. You will you will sleep on that hill. Little projects, as much as possible. Little projects. Just except you are and one more thing, except you are looking, depending on your niche. If you're a front-end engineer, then you have to be very detailed about the visualization. If you're a back-end engineer, yes, the skills, but focus on what you need to learn. The rest are add-ons. Like a mobile engineer, if I'm trying to learn a UI tooling framework, then I'll focus on the UI. If I'm trying to learn an architectural framework, I'll focus on the architecture. You understand? As a back-end engineer, yes, you have built your endpoints. Do you really need to create beautiful screens looking? Yes, if that is the goal, to hone both your front end and back end skills, fine. But don't avoid to be drawn in the trap of moving about, and get a mentor. Get a mentor. I think this is one thing most people get a mentor. I can't overemphasize how important this is. Get a mentor. Ask people. Say, one thing I've understood is so many people are open to mentoring others. Reach out to
True.
people,
Yes.
reach out to, like, so many people, especially in the tech space, they're open to sharing their knowledge.
True.
I have gone through your profile and I love what I see. Can I tap from your experience? And the person is like, wow, they may not be readily available, but once a month,
They can
twice,
give in their time.
they can give you some guidance that would save you on the long run. Purpose. I tell people, diversification is the biggest killer of a newbie. There are so many things to learn in this space that we can get distracted. Pick one, create your roadmap. That's why I started with creating the roadmap, because I know there will be distractions along the line. What I speak to someone, what are you doing? I'm learning C sharp, then I learn JavaScript, then I now learned Python because this thing, then I now learned this Kotlin. It's looking very good. Diversification at a given level. Yes, when you get into the space and you become more experienced, you can hover around depending on your job needs. But for the start, pick a niche, stick to it. Forget the noise all around you. You understand? Focus. It's important. If I could go over this over and over, I would go over this. Then get a community. How did they talk on again? The birds of one feather or birds of a feather should flock together or something, or iron sharpness. All those plenty motivational quotes, they are important because your community will determine how much you learn. Yeah, because you are reading one resource. Remember, I said stick to a few resources. Other people are also sticking to their own resources, and you guys now meet and you try things, build projects together. It doesn't just get a community of people like people now that was on the virtual tech fest. That's important. You don't know how you would meet people. Um, you can meet people through a friend. This I know I met Lola through a friend. You understand? So it's
Yeah.
also in the community. You can get your mentor. You can get jobs. Please, it is important. And I tell people visibility is also as critical. Visibility, visibility, visibility. You are starting. I think the biggest issues for the tech space is breaking in. One of the biggest issue is getting that first job, because many people know that hey, you can tech some things we do in tech are a bit abstract. You understand, and you can go online and follow a YouTube tutorial and just now said you built a banking app that served. We know all this. So people are usually scared to. There are opportunities, but not everyone is open to taking that first risk on your career. So visibility is important. You can start 100 days of code, publicize yourself. It doesn't. You don't need to be writing so many essays. You don't need to be. Today I built a screen using this. Then I played some football. Just let let there be a track record where we can reference that hey, he has been doing this. 100 days of code is one of the perfect. I think I did that once. You can check on my LinkedIn. I don't know when I, yeah, some years back, maybe 3 years ago. But make yourself as visible as possible. Yeah, and I said there would be disclaimers. There are some disclaimers. I may be making it sound easy, but boy, you and I both know that learning this new skill is not going to be as easy. Sometimes you will meet bugs that you'll be like, oh, Jesus, Father, what? But it was working where I saw this code and I copied and pasted it. I did not change anything, no.
And it's still working.
But you understand? And these things are expected. As you
Sure.
go up, they may be easier, but the problems don't end because as you go up, your your expectations increase, and you still face bugs that keep you up at night. Still face designs that keep you up at night. Still face projects that you're like, how do I manage this? You understand? So it's not gonna be easy. You may feel like giving up. Please don't for yourself and for for the people that are cheering you up and depending on you. Please don't, don't. Some nights it will be like, oh, this thing, this thing not the enter. Kai. It's. I would not say it stops. You understand? It just gets better because. But please don't give up. And this is not. I see a lot of people. I had to write it here. Tech is not a Ponzi scheme. I see a lot of people coming in and they're like, so in I started learning Java. In 6 months, I want to be earning this. This is not bring one people and get 2 million. No, it's a skill which you have to hone. You understand? Set realistic goals, and build yourself. You understand? And I tell people inferiority complex is one thing. It will always you are not good enough. It comes in at different level. If you ask people with 10 years of experience, because at that stage they sit down with people with way more experience than themselves, they still feel I don't know enough. You understand? It's certain. This is not saying you should not. There is I don't know enough, and there is a feeling of I don't know enough. You understand? So build yourself and the rest. And there's always so many things to learn out there. There will be challenges, and again there will be challenges. Yeah, like I wrote down, challenges are different. Like what resources, depending on where you are living, where you are hearing this from. I don't have a good enough system. I am juggling two jobs, a technical and a non-technical job. How do I do this? Resources are not easily accessible. There would be so many distance, but that is where your community comes in, and that is where because you would need support. You ask someone, okay, I saw that you were working as an accountant in the bank while learning this. Someone has done that. Reach out, ask. He will
Sure.
tell you how he navigated this part. You may have technical blockers. I remember once upon a time I was battling with dependency injections some years back, and God, I was like, what is that was before in Android before Dagger healed, and I was battling with Dagger 2. I was like, what is this magic? What is just find somewhere, find a group chat and post your questions if you have technical blockers. There are people that have done that. They will answer. You understand? And the going will get tough, like I say. So learn to embrace this failure. Learn to just know that it's not going to be a smooth ride, but if I'm consistent, I will be going upwards. You understand? And I added a little hint for job hunts. There is a more there's a more professional or more qualified person on the resource personnel today to discuss on this. But I tell people interviewing is a different skill. So I may just briefly say interviewing is a different skill. So pick it up, like practice, practice, practice. Speak to people. You can reach out to me. No, reach out to Lola. But you can also reach out to me. Interviewing is a different skill because I meet a lot of people and they are really good, but they don't know how to sell themselves. You understand? I will leave majority of this to the next personnel due to time. But also in our Q&A, we can discuss we can discuss this. If you notice, most of the conversations were on beginners, but now you are not. It's not so much a beginner as I'm still looking for a technical niche. You are now a little bit more experienced. So the more experienced folks, I tell people, uh, you are going to be working in a business. They would reward. They would businesses love to. The aim of a business is profit. They would pay you based on how much value you bring in. So
Brilliant.
make yourself so valuable. Like let you be that guy that does Android, does, and I have a mentor who is, oh God, so good, so good at almost everything. You understand? Be that valuable. Now you're more experienced. Pick a niche and be really good at it so that you'll be that guy. Be excellent. And one thing, master debugging. If you are a software engineer, master how to find root cause, then solve problems. As a software engineer, it may be different in the different niches. And I'm speaking from my perspective as a software engineer. Master debugging, master finding these root cause problems. Yeah, by now you should already have a community. You should already have a network of friends. And remember, the only way you learned most of this was because some people were kind-hearted to share this knowledge with you. Pick up someone you can mentor. You have been doing software engineering for 3 years now. You're qualified enough to mentor someone that is looking for where to start. Pick up someone you can mentor. You have been doing this for 5 years. You've been doing this for 6 years. You make posts, make publications. That way you will grow. And on the light of growth, continuous development. Don't, because the joy of this space is it moves fast. So ensure that you are consistent in your development outside your scope of work. Keep up to the latest trends and the rest. Ensure that you are committed in developing yourself. And remember, reward follows the value, your value. So how much value are you bringing to the company? How much value are you bringing to the tech space as a whole? How much value are you bringing to the next? See, thank you, Lola, for the value you're also creating for for the guys that are coming along. You understand? How much are you leaving behind? You understand? And I will leave on this note. Strive for mastery. I know it's good to know a lot of things, but strive for mastery. If you are a UI designer, master that. Master some things that you know that everybody knows is undisputed in this. If you are a product manager, master some skills where everyone know that you are undisputed in that. As a software engineer, there are so many things you can master, but pick one. And yeah, in our company we have a guy who we know that if we are speaking of Kotlin, he's the Kotlin guy. If we are speaking of Compose, he's the Compose guy. You understand? Let it be like that for you. Mastery. Yep. And lastly, never stop having fun. What will drive you along is how much fun you can derive from this. So please, the day it stops being fun, probably you have been working on a wrong project for too long. Pick up a new project. Will I advise you to switch jobs? Yes, if it stops being fun, switch. You understand? Because that is what we're, for me, that is what keeps me going on the days where I see bug. I'm like, oh, Jesus, I have to call my mother. I need to talk to person that will not talk anything technical. Yeah, well, never stop having fun. Never stop having fun. That's the notes I will leave you guys on. I don't know if you have any questions personalized to your use case. You can share them along. I don't know,
Okay,
Lola.
I've actually shared slightly linked them.
Oh,
So
that's lovely.
yeah.
Can
But
I?
I think I
Yeah.
have one question
Oh,
from, I think just one person dropped a question in the YouTube chat, but others have been sending in on the Slido
Slido.
link. So the question from the YouTube chat, with your experience in leadership, what is your advice for someone who would grow to the point where they can be trusted and competent enough to lead teams like an engineering manager?
Okay. Like an engineering manager. So firstly, leadership, like every other skill, is something that can be learned and can be built on and developed. You understand?
Sure.
And I was attending a workshop on management some 3 weeks or 2 weeks ago. And management is not the easiest because it's one of those skills where, especially as a tech person, you move from a senior engineer where you are literally at the top of your game to the lowest three on the hierarchy, the lowest point on the hierarchy of management. Because as an engineering manager, you are not as experienced in management. Though you were really competent as an engineer, but you are not at the CEO level, you are not at the VP level, you are not at the heads of department levels. But one thing I can always say is feedback is important. Ask for feedback. Because in management, from experience, I've discovered that you may think you are leading people rightly, from your own understanding, but it comes out differently. You understand? So, firstly, ask for feedback. Have someone where you have your one-on-one with. Study materials, take courses. I think that's one of the best ways to grow, especially for people skills. You understand? Take courses, try out those patterns, ask for feedback, repeat the cycle. Yeah. and get a mentor. Again, get a mentor that has been a manager for so long. Yeah, you can. It can be. He can be an SVP. He can be a VP. He can be a lead above you, because just get a mentor. Get a mentor. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I have one question again. I think we'll ask other questions when other guests come, so we don't spend so much time. But you can answer this one. And the person said, "I am just starting into tech, and the issue I have right now is the fact that I don't even know what I love to do. I just want to be in tech. So I'm either going to this event in design and I'm going to another event in development. How can I stay on one path and be sure that this is the right path for me?"
Okay. A lot of us have been in that position. The story is not unique to you. If you ask around, you will know how common that is. For you just starting, it's sometimes it feels easy for us to say pick a niche, but you don't know, you don't even know what the niche, different niches
Yes.
entails. That's why I say ask questions. You understand? Because I've met people who they don't know what is in back end and what's in front end. They don't know what the differences are. And they ask genuinely, and I tell them, okay, this is what back end entails, this is what front end entails, this is what product management entails, this is what all this. These are the different stuffs, you understand? But now where do you see yourself? Where do you think you fit best in? You understand? Where do you think you fit best in? So ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. After asking the questions, you may discover one of the niches where I kind of love this. Please, the faster you start on one, it doesn't mean you cannot restart. You understand? But the faster you start one and invest your time on that, you can start one and 2 months into the journey, you're like, it's not working. It happens, you understand? So start, ask questions, get feedback, get a roadmap, no matter how short it can be, 4 months or 6 months roadmap. If it does not work, reevaluate yourself and start something else. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Wilson Ahamasin. Thank you so much for dishing out this information.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank
And for
you.
others that are still sending in questions, don't worry, your questions will be answered. We just need to meet up with time. And that's why I've only said send him 2 questions. You can still drop in your questions while we have our second guest. Thank you so much,
Thank
Wilson.
you.
So, hi guys. I hope you really enjoyed the first session with um, Wilson Ahamison. So drop in your feedback. What's your questions also? Like, what do you expect from Wilson? What you feel it can help you with when it comes to some situations around how you can navigate yourself into tech. And you can look at the link on the YouTube channel, the chat. I've dropped the link there so you can drop in your questions. Well, we'll have our second guest right here. So our second guest, her name is Grace. Grace is going to be talking with us on a particular topic on a book. She's an author of a book, Bootstrapping Your Career Growth in Tech. And we'll be having her just after introduction.
Grace Olayinka, a Bachelor of Technology graduate, excels as a blockchain developer, mentor, and writer. Her expertise spans various events, impacting tech enthusiasts globally. As a front-end developer, she delivers multifaceted technical solutions for over 6 years. Her mentorship nurtured the careers of 10 individuals and trained over 1,500 people in front-end, Scratch programming, and Python. Recognized as a global talent through Tech Nation endorsement, UK. Grace authored ebooks on Web3 and a hard copy book, empowering readers in the tech space. An award winning MVP, she leads at NIYO Group, empowering Black women in tech worldwide. Once again, welcome Grace Olayinka to the 2024 Virtual Tech Fest.
Yes, yes, yes. See who we have here, Grace Olayinka. Hi, Grace.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank
All
you. The
right.
floor is yours now.
Okay. So I will just present my screen so that we can get started. Um, can you see my screen?
Oh, yes. It's live now.
Just want to be okay. Awesome. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Grace Olayinka, and I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much, Lola, for bringing this together, and for the
Thank
team.
you.
You guys are doing really well.
Thank you.
So let me move. I don't know. The bio is was it old? I thought I sent a new one, but anyway.
Okay.
So my name is Grace, and I'm a growing tech leader. Currently, a technical lead at Neo, a company here in the UK. I'm also a co-founder of Sole Swat, a fashion business. I love fashion, and I just like to dip by the side. But this is we do customized apparels for creatives and for techies generally, and also sell wall frames. I'm also an author and a writer. I've written 3 books, but majorly the 2 books are like ebooks and then one hard copy. And I'm currently working on another one because I love to write. I'm a speaker. I've spoken in a wide range of events across 4 different countries and across different topics generally. And I'm a mentor and a consultant. I've mentored people starting their career in tech to when they get that job that they need. And I also consult for companies that are looking to hire interns and whatnot. I also help like vet talent in terms of hiring talent for a particular role, as long as it's in software engineering related. And for recognitions, I'm a young woman leading in tech in Africa. I was recognized, special recognition for that, and also a global talent um, by the Home Office here in the UK. So yeah, that's literally about me. So, but today we will be doing my book review, which I'm so excited about. But before I go into that, I would just like to talk about my journey and how I've been able to grow from when I started to where I am now. And beautiful session by the first speaker, actually like literally hit the point, hit the nail in the head. I mean, everything was on point. So everything that I mentioned were just stuff that still works. It worked 7 years ago. It can still work now. It's just the same principle to success. Like someone said that the principle that the likes of our old people, like predecessors, used is still the same principle to success. It is not.
True.
The only thing that changed is just the modernization, the word, and that's why you need to stay informed just to be in the curve. But the principle is still the same. So I started my journey in tech December 7 years ago. And I started writing code just because I wanted to solve mathematics with coding. Yeah, I started writing Java. It was interesting. I could solve quadratic equation, matrices, and all of those things with coding. I was like, oh, this is lovely because I really love math. But it got to a point I was like, oh, this is unbearable. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't continue coding Java. I don't know why. It was just so hard. It was just so hard for me at that point. And also at that point, I didn't have a laptop. The person that introduced me to tech was the one just borrowing me his laptop every weekend. So it's quite hard to not code during the week and then coming back to refresh your memory again, and all of those things. So I decided to get a laptop by crying to my daddy. Daddy, I need a laptop. I'm not doing tailoring again. I ran away from tailoring. Um, yeah, because I was learning tailoring at that time, but I ran away and they were like, use this game. What do you want to do? And thank God for my father of blessed memory. He was the one that actually pushed me to want to do what I want to do. And he was the only male, so my dad listened to him very well. So when he told my dad that he buy a laptop for her, it will do well, all of those things. Then I got a laptop. And then I started exploring other aspects of tech. I spoke to the person that introduced me to Java in the first place. Or like, this Java is not Java anymore. What can I do in my head to this tech? And then he advised me to go into web development. And that was when I started coding in front end. And since then, I don't think I want to go back to Java. I love it where I am. Literally, now I build web applications and I even lead teams to build awesome web applications, right? So that is literally my journey on how I got started 7 years ago. And
Wow.
what has really helped me is what I actually put in my book. One of the reasons I actually wrote that book, aside Holy Spirit putting it on my mind, is literally people always reaching out to me. Grace, how can I grow in tech? Grace, how can I grow in tech? Grace, how can I grow? Like Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, I get DMs like that. And instead of answering people one after the other, that's one of the reasons I even went to do like a group mentorship program, just to bring in some people to mentor them. But mentorship takes time. I said, okay, let me just put all of these things in a book and just, be out there.
People can get it.
Yeah, so that people can get it and they can read and all of that. So that is one of the reasons I started writing that book. And to be honest, everything that's helped me thus far, they are inside the book. Of course, I've learned some things new since I published the book, but yeah, I'm thinking of version 2 of the book. But right now, everything is still the same. I mean, everything that has helped me thus far is still the same thing that will help everybody. I mean, I'm working on a project speaking to different women tech leaders, and one thing is common. One thing is definitely common amongst all of them. All of them. All of them. One thing is diligence, another thing is personal brand, right? So when I asked them, okay, what strategies did you employ to gain recognition and to be known in your space? Personal brand. I just put myself out there. I just started talking about what I do. As I'm learning, I just started doing this, and decide. I'm like, yeah, it's still the same principle. It just depends on how we implement it. And I usually tell people that we admire successful people a lot, but we are not ready to do what they did or what they are even doing. We are not ready to put in the diligence. We are not ready to put in the hard work. We are not ready to put in a lot that they do. Like when people say, oh, Grace, I want to be like you. Can you? Are you ready? Actually, like there are times where I only sleep 3 hours. Of course, not now though. Like 3 hours in a day, code all through the night just because I want to code. Or times when my friend would go to night class just to write codes, right? So we admire great people, but there's still one principle is if you do what they did, you will definitely see the results that they saw, or even better, right? Depending on how you work on it. So these principles have actually helped me grow in my journey. And today I will just be reviewing a part of my book which talks about using social media to your advantage. I know that, please, can you help me with the name of the first speaker? His name is kind of
Wilson.
Right. So I know that Wilson has mentioned how we can get started and how we can grow in the tech space. It mentioned that you should be focused, you should be very good at what you do, and all of those things. But one thing that you should know is best, I usually say this all around. This is also in my book. Best known is better than best. What I mean by that is the people that you see in the leadership position now are not necessarily the best in what they do, but they are the ones known as the best in what they do, and that's why they are in that position at the moment. So if you have met a lot of people better than, but they are making a lot of money than me, a lot of money, right? They are making the
Yeah,
money,
they're making
like they are making the money than me. They are making a
sure.
whole lot of money, but I'm better. Like if in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, and all of that. But what do they know how to do? They know how to sell themselves in a way that nobody could resist them.
True.
And they got to that position, right? And aside that, people that came to them have seen their work, seen what they've been able to do, and they just decide that this person is the best for the job, right? So, what makes that happen? What actually makes this recognition happen? What makes you the best and also make you a known best? Because it's not enough to just be the best. You can be the best in your room, but doesn't mean you are the best to the recruiters. So you can be the best in your village, local champion, but you are not the best to people around the world. And when you want to say you're a global talent, that would mean people around the world has recognized you as one. So how do people around the world recognize you as a best talent for the job? Is the way you use your social media. So that's what I will be going into today. And to be honest, all of these things I'm talking about are coming from my book. So you will know that the book is packed. So now I'll just be talking about some things that you should know on how to use social media to your advantage. They say that the older generation say that you use your phone a lot, that's why your life is getting destroyed. Whereas some people use phone and their life is getting better
Better.
every day. And now you'll be like, what is the difference? First thing, I will start from the last point that I have here. First, you need to know is that social media is a tool. And the way you can use a spanner to unscrew is the way you can use social media to do something good for your life. Of course, you need to know how much time you spend on social media so that you don't spend all your life on social media. But even the little time that you spend, how impactful it is, or how impactful is it? Yes. How impactful is that little time that you spend on social media? Recently, I was telling my husband, oh, I need to reduce my social media time. Because like on my social media, I see my pastor's videos, I see different kind of impactful video. I also see some video that doesn't have anything, add anything to my life. So now you now wonder, how do I get this impactful content that can add things to my life? The people you follow determines how you grow. Like, they say that follow who no road. If you don't follow who no road, definitely you will land in the ditch. But if you follow someone that no road, then you will. There are people that I've known on social media that has really impacted me, not just impacted me, encouraged me without, they don't know me. Oh, I only see them on social media. I follow them because I've seen what they've been able to do. But whenever I watch their content, I'm always inspired. I'm always poured to do more. I'm always inspired to be like, if this woman is doing this, then why not? Those are the kind of people that you should follow on social media, not silhouette challenge, not people that cannot add anything to you spiritually, career-wise, financially, or different wise. So number one, who are you following? Who are you following? At the time when I was doing a group mentorship, I told my mentees to go on their social media, go and unfollow everybody that you know are not adding anything to your life. A lot of us say that, oh, we don't know where job is. There are a lot of people on Instagram, on Twitter that post jobs every day, but you don't follow them. You are only following people that gist on Twitter, or follow people that just want to troll, that trolls. You like gist, but will gist actually help your career? No, right? So, like, follow people that can impact. Who are you following exactly? If you go through your Twitter, your Instagram, or your LinkedIn, I know LinkedIn is even a professional. It's possible you see something impactful on LinkedIn almost every day. But Twitter and Instagram, TikTok, you will spend 5 hours on TikTok just watching dogs and puppies, or watching a father and a son cutting together, or a couple cutting. Of course, those things are good to make you happy, but is that all the content you consume? Right? A lot of people post jobs on Instagram. Find a work on Twitter is a very good profile to follow if you are looking for a job. Career with Kemi on Instagram is a good profile to follow if you are looking for a job. You are a software engineer, you don't follow people that do software engineer content. You are a designer, you don't follow people that do design content. You don't follow people that can give inspiration for your design and all of that. So this is the first step to using social media to your advantage. Because if you don't learn, how do you even want to give? You can't give from a well of zero. You can't give from a knowledge of zero. I mean, you can't give what you don't have, literally. So if you are not learning, if you are not growing, then how do you even want to give to people in the first place? Or you'll be like, I want to build my personal brand, I want to post about what I do. What are you doing? What are you learning about what you are doing? In the long run, all the thing you know we just to go away. Then have you learned new things to actually share? So is these people that you follow that help you in learning, and not just learn alone, to even be able to give to others. It is very important. We all see social media as a time wasting app, but you can still use it to your advantage, right? For me, one of the decisions I've made, which I've not started following though, this year, is to go on social media, post and run away. Then when I want to go back to respond to comments, I will also just go through some people that I respect a lot on social media and learn from them. This is a good way to use social media to your advantage. Then now let's move to other things that are very, very important. You know, I mentioned that best known is better than best. If people don't know you, then you're not the best. You're just the best to yourself and maybe to your husband or your boyfriend and your family members, right? That's even if your family members know what you're doing. So, like, post about what you do, right? I've gotten a lot of question about, Grace, how do I know what to post? How do I know what to talk about on my social media? And literally, I've also heard people that, Grace, I don't like showing my face on social media. How can I still grow my personal brand without having to pop out? One thing I tell them is, one, or some people also say, hey, look at Tamedo. Tamedo doesn't post on social media, but he got a job with Google. Are you Tamedo? Are you Tamedo? Do you know the connection Tamedo has? Do you know the parents of Tamedo? Do you know if they have connection in Google and in Facebook? Do you know all of those things? No. So first thing, don't even compare your journey with anybody. You know, when you want to grow, you actually make a decision that you will give it all it takes. So if for your own growth, all it takes is to actually put yourself out to build your personal brand, so be it. Don't be comparing someone's journey to your own journey. Even big companies like someone that has a very good personal brand, not just big company, any company does, because that is literally marketing their company without having to say anything. If, let's say, I have 1 million followers and I say I work with Neo, do you think Neo will not be happy? Because literally that means 1 million people already knows Neo. Literally, free marketing. So even companies love people that has a personal brand, that has authority in what they do. Not just that, you can even make money from your personal brand, like by building your personal brand. So post about what you do. What do you do? You're a designer. Okay, post about it. Oh, I don't know what to post. What if I post rubbish and someone comments? I don't know what to say, to be honest. Because even the people that you look up to, did they tell you they've not made mistakes before? Now, this is where someone that you respect comes in. If you want to make a post and you're not sure, tell the person to go through it for you. Oh, I want to post this. What do you think? And you can even check your knowledge on Google. Oh, is this thing true? Or maybe you wanted to post that Montserrat is the only font the people use in this life. Is Montserrat the only font people use? Then going through Google, reading articles, you will get more insights, and it will even help you write better, right? So post about what you do, post your wins. Post your wins. A lot of young folks, I'm a young person, so yeah, a lot of us don't like celebrating our wins. We are waiting for the big one. When I eat Google Lasson, I'm gonna post it on my social media every day. Now I'm at Google. Now the small one that you did not appreciate it. And there's something about appreciating God for little things. Yeah, there's something about, aside just celebrating your little wins, it spurs confidence in you. Sometimes when I feel down, I just go and look at the wins I've had and be like, Grace, you are really doing well. Or look at the testimonies I've gotten and be like, to be honest, you've impacted people. It's not being proud, it's just you spurring yourself to do greater works. Because we are humans, and there will come a time where we are in our down times, right? Like yesterday, I was so down. I don't know. It was just like, oh, I'm doing too much. Oh, I'm not supposed to be doing too much. And then I spoke to my husband, spoke to my friends, and all of them were like, Grace, you of 6 years ago, if they tell you that you would have done everything you've done today, you say is a lie. The same thing that if you look back in the next 5 years, you will be so proud of yourself. That's one thing one of my friends said yesterday. I was like, really, this is so encouraging, right? So if I've not shared my wins or posted my wins, people won't even know what I've been doing anyway. No matter how little, post it. It gives you that respect. It gives you that authority that, oh, you are winning in this game, no matter how small. If it's that you train someone in design and the person got a job, that is a very big win. It's not small. You've literally helped someone's career life. One human being. That's a lot. That's really a lot. So then, no, don't just stop in posting your wins. Post your lessons. There is this thing about social media where we see people just posting wins. Be like, this person's life is so sweet. Oh my God. What am I doing with my life? Yes, a lot of us think like that. And it now seems as if the person's life is so perfect. Social media is very tricky. If you don't know how to use it, you will just be sad. You will be depressed, right? So a lot of people don't post their lessons. They don't even tell us about the struggles that they go through and how they've overcome it. But don't be such person. Like for me, the people I actually follow post everything, the wins, the struggles, everything. Because even in the struggles, you learn. There was a time I was facing a bug when I was writing a smart contract, and the bug took me 1 week to fix. I'll thank God for the help of a senior engineer. And then when I fixed that bug, I went on my Medium. I wrote it that I faced this bug and this is how I fixed the bug. Do you know that article alone brought $2,500 project to me? Like someone messaged me on Twitter and be like, I saw your article on you fixing a smart contract bug. I believe you are the best person to help me build my NFT mint DApp. And that was how we agreed on $25,000. And then we just upped on the project just by posting my lesson, like posting a bug I faced and how I solved it. So that alone brought me that much of a gift. And not just that, when I posted the blog, a lot of people found it helpful. Like people were like, I faced this bug. Oh, thank you for sharing. Even if that was the only thing I got from it, I'm okay. Not to now talk of money coming from it, right? So posting your lessons is a big deal because people will know that you also struggle too and you have the ability to come out of it. When you do interviews, they ask you, can you work under pressure? If you face this problem, can you actually go through it, right? Then post about what you know. Don't like not just what you do alone, maybe what you know generally. Oh, for me, I'm a technical lead, I'm a lead right now. It's been a while. Like my job right now, it requires 90% business, technical business, and 10% coding. Even though I still write about some, I still do videos about coding, I still talk about leadership, communication, and all of that. So it's not just about design alone. You can even talk about communication, how to get the best designer, how to work on a project with somebody, how to do this, how to do that. These things give you an edge, and that's why you will see you LinkedIn telling you appeared in 200 searches this week. You'll be like, who are they? Why are they looking for me? It's because the things that you post pops up in their field, and they see you as an expert in your field. To be honest, building your personal brand is a thing that can help you go through the technical lead role I am now. I didn't do an interview. I didn't pass, and there are lots of people like that. Recommendations, they just saw their good work and be like, start work immediately, and a lot more, right? So it depends on what you want to choose. Maybe they have the software, but me, I like the software. And
Welcome, Wilson Ahmed. Welcome, Wilson Ahmed.
I love the software, and that's what I'll go with. So now let's move on. So what the book entails generally. So I've actually reviewed the one part of the book, just a chapter of the book. So what the book entails is the right attitude for growth. We need the right attitude for growth. Factors that haze career growth, which I've spoken about, a part of it, which is personal brand, and many more in it. And I think Wilson also mentioned one, which is networking and all of those things. And then alternative ways to monetize your skills. You know, we are all just bent on looking for a job. What if you can do something else while you are looking for a job and still be making money? Yeah, everything is in there. Using social media to your advantage, which I've mentioned now. Importance of mentorship, the balance. You know, there is a balance. There was a time I was so bent on one and didn't work on the other. I was so bent on building my personal brand. I wasn't improving my skills. That costed me an opportunity. And you need to know how to balance the two, because you can get lost in the process. Notes from big tech people that I know, from CEOs, CTOs, and big tech people, and also activity session. If you don't know what to post, there's a whole activity session, 30 days content calendar for you to know what to post on your LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, and just to put yourself out there to let people know what you do. So the cost of the book, hard copy is 4,200 and the soft copy is 3,500. I'm very sure Lola will drop the link if in the comment. And talking about the reviews, a software solutions developer said that thank you, Grace, for writing this masterpiece. I've read it over and over and I never get tired of it. She keeps reading and reading. Praise, a front-end developer, said, I have a clear path and understand exactly how to go through my career and be effective with it. I do not just thrive in my skill, I will now earn with it. This was one of my mentees, and he started earning within 1 month of mentorship. That's so lovely. And then someone anonymous, not mention their name, I remember purchasing your book months later that the price increased. You basically delivered as expected. My approach to my tech career changed drastically. You are a blessing. And plenty more reviews and testimonies for people that have gotten the book. So if you're interested, the link will be shared by the Hero team, I believe. And I just want to drop this last note that tech is ever growing and ever changing. Make sure to stay informed and to stay ahead. Stay informed and stay ahead. And I've shared one of the ways you can stay ahead and also stay informed. Right? Social media is one that you can use to stay ahead and stay informed, and plenty other things that you can do. It's very, very important. So if you want to connect with me, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, but I don't really post on Twitter anyway. I majorly post on my LinkedIn and Instagram. Thank you. Now I can take questions.
Hi. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you. Okay, I've been following up on the questions I've been getting on Slido. So, someone asked, but before I ask the question, yes, guys, I've dropped the link to the book on the YouTube chat, so you can check it out and get one for yourself. I have my copy with me. I'm going to show you so you know that I have my copy with me. I got mine too. So let me just ask one question to Grace. Then our third speaker should start getting ready. So the person asked, okay, I am just starting in tech, and you said I should follow people that can help my life in tech. Are you saying that? Okay, I think I need to read this question to get it. Okay. Okay, so what the person is asking basically is more like um following people on social media. Is it that they should follow based on profile, like based on, in this part of when you go to LinkedIn and the way people will tush their headlines, you'll be like, this person is the heaven and earth in tech. So is it that the person should follow based on LinkedIn, like profile, or based on what the person have been doing, like achievements and whatnot? Some persons really, actually, he said people that are really into these things don't really do much of posting per se. So are they going to be following people that are really out there, or people that they knows their game better in tech? I think that's like the summary. If I'm right, the person can hear me if I'm right. I think, but that's like the summary of what the person is
Okay.
trying to say.
All right. So I know that we are humans and we like to focus on people that actually fit our own preference, literally. But what if I tell you there are also people that knows the game well and also still post? Yes, so for me, I follow people that knows the game well and also still post. And you know, one thing that you can know is how they work. You can literally know from their page how they work and the result of what they've done. I know that on LinkedIn there are a lot of sugar coated successes. I know that there are a lot of sugar coated ones or successes and all of those things. But one thing that can help you is if you go on Google, literally, you can search for people to follow in software engineering on Instagram and on Twitter or LinkedIn, anybody like that. And it will actually bring you people that are doing well, not just doing well on social media and also doing well in their career. And even by following their content, you will know that this person knows his onions, is not just a an online freak or something like that. And that's why I said there needs to be a balance, right? There are times that even if you start building your personal brand, you might make that mistake of just boosting your personal brand online and not literally improving your skills. Yes, I know there are a lot of people like that is only online they know or they have only online presence. If you ask them come and build something today, they don't know how to do it. There are people like that, definitely. But there are also people that if you check through their profile, you will know that they do something. It's not just by mouth. They post what they do. It's not that, oh, I went to pick this from Google. They post about it and they talk about their process. There's this lady on Instagram, Bolanle Banwar. She's a designer and she has a design school. If you follow Bolanle Banwar, you can't tell me she doesn't know what she's doing. She literally does tutorials online, literally. So people like that, she posts content and she also know if I by following her alone, you can learn a lot about brand design, brand strategy, and all of those things. So yes, I know there are people that is all mouth. Yeah, I know. I've met a lot of them like that. And there are also people that they have that consistent personal brand and they're exactly good at what they do. Your job is to look for them.
Okay. Thank you, Grace. I would ask the second question. So let me just drop it down before you answer. The second question is majorly, if I am just starting in tech, should I post all my little updates on what I am learning on in tech, or I should wait till when I am really ready for the tech before I start posting?
Yeah, I get this question a lot. I get the question of, oh, I'm just starting. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to post. I want to wait till when I'm good. Yeah, it's fine. To be honest, if you that's what you think you need to do, it's fine. But I think people use that as an excuse not to even do anything at all.
Okay.
Right? Yes, people use that as excuse not to do anything at all. And I was in this boot camp. It's a business boot camp, building profits, right? And then one thing that the facilitator said that you might not be an expert to everyone, but you're an expert to someone. And she used an example of a 100 level and a 200 level. If I am in 100 level and I have issue, a 200 level person can teach me the same way a 500 level person can also teach me. So because the person is in 200 level doesn't mean I can't learn from the person, right? So one thing, and there's something also someone I also follow, he said that if you learn introduction to HTML, you're already an expert to someone that doesn't even know what HTML is at all. So that knowledge of what is HTML, you already know it, whereas some other people don't know it. And that alone means you can share your knowledge for them to learn. Do you understand? So if you are just growing and all of that, I would advise you can post little things that you learn. You don't exactly have to wait till you blow. You might not necessarily even get that there in some years, right? You post about it, let people know about your journey. There's something that I was speaking to some women, and like what they did is literally just sharing their journey. Someone that starts from no knowledge in Keyway, being the senior Keyway engineer. I was like, how did you do it? It's not because they use juju, it's literally people following through their journey. And when people know the state that you are, that's when they can bring opportunities to you. It's not that you appear as Bado and you are still a novice. And then if you appear as Bado, definitely I won't bring novice job to you now. Whereas you're actually looking for novice job. So another thing is not to appear as who you are not. Let people know you are still learning. You are just getting started. And just post what you are doing, post what you're learning. And to be honest, I don't hold people on the neck to post. It's literally what works for you. I don't hold you on the neck to post on social media. If you believe you don't need it, it's fine. I don't like forcing people. I know there will be some people that don't agree with I don't need to post. It's fine. To be honest, it's fine. Don't use it. Don't use social media. It's just that way you will see the result. The person that actually build their personal brand get the result faster. Except people, except people in the high places. But that's just the case. And it's not about you must post. I don't post every day on social media. I don't post every day. I only post maybe twice in a week or 3 times in a week, and sometimes once in a week. That's what I post. The major thing is people know your journey and they know what you've been able to do and achieve in certain number of years. There's a time I posted on Facebook and someone said that if Grace blow tomorrow, nobody will ask her question if she did money ritual, because they've literally seen my journey. So if they believe if I blow tomorrow is as a result of the hard work that I've been putting in, that is the result that I'm seeing. Do you understand? So the journey is what matters. What people see, the journey that people see is what matters, not exactly you posting every day. And for any little knowledge that you have, someone out there doesn't know it. So definitely is worth sharing.
Thank you so much, Grace Olaginka. So, guys, here's my book. I hope you can see it. So, I purchased mine too. So, get yours. Click on that link and order for your own book so that we can actually bootstrap our career growth together. I don't want to leave you behind this 2024. That's why we are doing this. So, please click on that link on YouTube channel and on the YouTube chat and actually order your book. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So, guys, we'll be having our third guest. Um, our third guest is going to be talking about CV formatting, how you can make your CV attractive for recruiters. You know, a lot of persons have this thing of I keep applying, I don't get feedback. For me, I've always applied and I'm always getting through to interview stages and all of that. So I noticed that there's this importance of formatting CV accurately, and that's why I have with me Eche Zonachiawa, who is going to be putting us through on all of that so that we can get it right. Because we've heard from the first speaker on how to get started and how to navigate our path in tech, and also those that have that experience how to position themselves in tech. We've also learned from the second speaker on how to use social media to our advantage. So imagine now you've built yourself on the skill path and you've also built yourself on the social media, you've posted yourself out there. Now you want to apply for job. Don't you think it's best for you to learn from recruiter who is actually looking through CVs and ensuring that your CV is attractive for companies to want to even listen to you at the first place? Because I think the first point of contact within you and the company is actually your CV. You submit first before they even want to listen to what you're into. So if your CV is not right, that's the first thing they don't want to have the communication with you. So that's why we have Eche Zonachi here. So you would actually listen to the brief introduction before she come on stage. Thank you.
Ichizunachi Awa. She is an executive recruiter and career strategist with a passion for connecting talented individuals with their dream roles. After more than 3 years as an HR professional and in coaching individuals on their career paths, she transitioned to recruiting, driven by the profound impact she can have on people's lives. She thrives on building meaningful connections, solving career challenges, and ultimately making a positive difference. She loves cooking new recipes every weekend for our family. Luckily, most of these recipes have turned into her husband's favorite food. Once again, welcome Eche Zonachi Awa to Virtual Tech Fest 2024.
Hi, Eche.
Good morning, Lola.
Good
Thank you
good
so much for having me here.
Good morning. I hope we didn't murder your name, please. So sorry.
I think I'm used to it. You can call me Eche, is the short form.
Eche. Okay, I think that's better. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, so you have the stage now, so you can, if you want to share the slide, you
Oh,
can put it up. So
okay. So okay, before I share the slide, let me reiterate. Thank you once again for having me here. And I'm going to be sharing two slides. The first one is going to be on, of course, CV and cover letter, taking us through the process of formatting it and, things to put in place even before you write your CV. Then I'm going to share another set of slides on job application principles, things we need to put in check or take note of when we want to apply for jobs. Okay. Okay, let me know when you can see my screen.
okay, yes, it's up.
Okay. CV and cover letter writing. So, this is what I'm going to be looking at. What is a CV?
Could you just expand it so we don't see the side, we just see the very first side?
Sorry, I can hear you.
Like, could you expand the main year? So it's just like represent year.
Okay, it's better now, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking on, what a CV is, things you need to know before you write a CV, format, and some guidelines. And of course, cover letter. I added cover letter to this because some job applications require a cover letter, and so many persons are not exactly conversant with cover letter writing, what you need to include in a cover letter. So, what is a CV? CV, as we know, stands for curriculum vitae, course of life, and is just a short written summary of your career, qualifications, your education, your work experience. And as we all know, a CV is used when applying for jobs. Now, before you write a CV, here are some things I will advise as number one, someone who has a CV and who has applied for jobs using her CV, and now someone who reviews, assesses people's CV to get them jobs. So before you write a CV, the very first thing you need to think of is time. Please don't ever write your CV in a hurry. Your CV is, how do I put it now? You're selling yourself through your CV. Every recruiter wants to know about you, and how they are going to know about you is by what you show them and what you say to them. And when we talk of what you say to them, it's majorly during the interview. When we talk of what you show them, it's your CV. And when they are reviewing your CV, you're not going to be there. When they're looking at your CV, you're not going to be there. So they're going to judge you based on what your CV says. So you can't write that CV in a hurry. So once you know, okay, I'm going to set out so and so time for the CV, create a template you like to follow. How do you want to write the CV? What format do you want to use? Is it going to be chronological or not? And then before you even start writing, get that job you're applying for or the series of jobs you want to apply for. Thoroughly go through the job description. Going through the job description is going to help you understand what they are looking for, the educational qualification they are looking for, the skills they are looking for, the experience they are looking for, and some keywords that you will need to include in your CV. Then once you've thoroughly understood the job you're applying for and what the company is looking for, you now sit back and look at yourself. Let me put it that way. Make a list of your experiences and your skills. What do I have? I know that, okay, this is what company A is looking for from me. What do I have that I can offer to this company? And place them side by side. When I say tailor them to match the requirements in the job description, place them side by side. The company is looking for, let me say, a customer service representative. Do I have communication skills? Do I have conflict resolution skills? Am I able to be empathetic to someone who is complaining of something? You tailor the skills and the experiences you have to what that job description is looking for. When you've placed all this side by side, you already have the arsenals, the tools you need to write your CV. So make sure you have enough time. Like I said, don't rush it. Have a template you want to follow. There are so many sites you can get CV templates. Or if you know you don't have the time, of course, you can pay someone to do it for you. But if you're going to write it yourself, there are so many websites where you can get a CV template. Please always remember, simplicity is key. Your CV is not a portfolio. We don't need pictures. We don't even need tables. Make it as simple as can be. Now, look at this standard format for a CV. I got it from Zeti. You can see it down there. It's very simple. Your contact information, I'll explain all this in details in the next slide. Your contact information, personal statement, professional experience or work experience, your academic history, that's your educational qualifications, skills, awards, certifications. See, you might not have all of this, especially if maybe you're just starting in your career. I mean, look at me, I don't even have certain things that are in here. But let's dive right into them. The very first thing that we should see on your CV is your contact information. Who has the CV? Once I get a CV on my table, the first thing I look at is name and professional title. Because if I want to hire for, let's say, a HR, and I see someone's CV and I have, let me use my name. I have Echezonachi Awa, and the person's professional title is customer service and maybe sales representative. I don't need you. You're in the wrong place. So your name and your professional title is the very first thing that will even make me, okay, all right, this is someone we need to look at before I start going through your CV. So your contact information needs to have your full name, your professional title, your email address, phone number, LinkedIn profile, if you have it, which I would advise you do, and your address. Your address is needed because most jobs will want you to, of course, come to the office or work hybrid. Even if it's a remote job, they'll want you to be in the same state or in the same city in most cases. So once your contact information is all set up, we move over to the professional statement. Your career objectives, more like summarize who you are professionally. You know, what you bring to the table, what value you bring into any company that hires you. See, this professional statement is where you need to kill it. Because if I read your professional statement and I love it, I want to read more. I want to know, oh wow, this is good. Let me see what else this guy has. But if your professional statement is some generic, I am passionate, I have keen attention to details. I see that in almost every CV. I have keen attention to details. I am passionate about learning and all that. No. Relevant skills that are in line with the job you're applying for, in line with your professional title, you know, something that stands out in your career that you've done, whether it's a volunteering experience or an internship, something you know will strike a chord. Put it in your personal statement. Because once I read your personal statement, it's like your unique selling point. It's going to make me more interested in reading the rest of your CV. And make sure that in your personal statement, you infuse relevant key points in there. You know, if you're applying for a HR job, make sure you have relevant key points that talks about employee management. If the job requires you to handle talent, talk about people management, operations and stuffs like that. If it's customer service, talk about conflict resolution, you know, communications, problem solving, analytical skills and stuffs like that. Infuse keywords in your personal statement. See, big companies use AI to analyze CV, because most times when they put out a job out there, a lot of people apply. You can't have a recruiter sitting down going over thousands of CVs. So they just fill all of them into the computer and have an AI analyze it. How does AI analyze it? Keywords. There are certain keywords they are looking for. If those keywords are not found in your CV, they trash it. So make sure you infuse keywords. And most times where you can find those keywords, it's in the job description. That's why before you start writing your CV or you start editing your CV for a particular job, you need to ensure you study the job description so you can pick out those keywords. Now, once we are done with our personal statement, we'll move over to our professional experience. That's our work experience. Most persons just write, you know, let's say sales representative, Okechukwu and Sons Company Limited. You put the year and that's that. Go a step further. Put some important achievements you did in that job. Let's assume you were a sales guy, use numbers. You were able to increase sales in the company from so and so to, use numbers. Numbers always work. Numbers show that you know what you're doing, you did the work, you got the accolades. So put the numbers, put exactly what you did in that job, something that stands out. Okay, you were able to as a HR, you were able to effectively handle the organization, or maybe employ top talents if you're a recruiter. Something that is wanted in that job. Put it there, especially something you've done, a relevant achievement, and use action verbs. Say it like, this is something I did, not something I tried to do. You have to be confident. Remember, your CV, you're selling yourself, so you have to be confident. And once you're done with your professional experience, you move over to your education or your academic history. We want to know you have the knowledge, whether it's what you studied in school, some online courses you took, as long as it is in line with the job you're applying, put it in there. Let me use myself as an example. In uni, I studied zoology. Yeah, but I'm a recruiter. How did I get into the recruiting firm? I took an online diploma course in HR. Do you understand? So when you see my CV, you're not going to see zoology there. I'm not applying for any work that has to do with zoology. You're going to start seeing the diploma course I took and every other thing after that in line with HR and recruiting. So put your educational qualification in line with the job you're applying for. Some jobs will definitely want you to have a bachelor's degree. So let's say the online courses you took are maybe short courses, maybe diploma courses that are not exactly BSc, BA, MA, or the rest. Go ahead and put your bachelor's degree there, whether it is in line with the job or not. Go ahead and put it there. It shows one thing: you have a degree. But we don't need your secondary school certificate, except the job asks for it, but most jobs won't, so we don't need it. So put your educational history, your graduation year, degree, the school, on any honors you got, any maybe group or society you were in school. It also shows us that, yeah, this one is also in tune with life. There are some people that go to school and they just go to read. So if you were a part of any organization, you handled any top role in school, put it in there. We want to know that, this is a go-getter. This guy has leadership experience, put it in there. And then once you're done with your educational qualifications and you're satisfied with yourself, move on to your skills. Relevant skills only. Don't bombard your CV with skills. We are in a tech fest, and let's say you're applying for a tech role. You need to ensure that the skills you're putting in your CV align with the job you're applying for. You don't need to put every skill in this world. And make sure you include soft skills and hard skills. Hard skills are more tailored to the job you're applying for. Talk about things like maybe coding, programming languages and stuff like that. Put it in there. It shows that, yes, apart from the fact that this person is a good communicator, pays attention to detail, has problem-solving skills, he or she knows programming language, he or she can code, he or she is a good website developer and stuff like that. So include soft and hard skills. And one thing that people miss is they don't add their level of proficiency. It makes you stand out because a lot of people don't put it in their CV. And it's not a problem if, let's say, for coding, your level of proficiency is 3 out of 5. And for communication, your level of proficiency is 5 out of 5. It's not a problem. Put it in there. It shows that this person is improving. Of course, one day it's going to be 5 out of 5 or even 10 out of 5. So put your level of proficiency. You could use maybe an asterisk or a star. If you go online to search for CV formats, you will see how people put their level of proficiency just beside each skills they list. And then the additional section. These are the sections that most people might not have, especially for people who are just starting out in their career. Industry awards, professional certifications, publications. See, when it comes to publications, if you published your project, your school project, and is in line with the job you're applying for, put it there. If it's published, I don't mean just hard copy. Maybe you published it in, let's say, ResearchGate and the likes. Put it in there. So your publications, even maybe articles, articles or case studies. Probably you have it in a blog, is a case study. Put it in there. Professional affiliations, you're a member of a particular community or of a particular professional body, put it in there. Conferences you've attended, trainings you have, put it in your additional section. These sections, these parts in the additional section shows you as someone who is eager to learn more, someone who is eager to do and become more. And these are the type of people any organization will want to have. It shows that, okay, you go above and beyond to grow and develop yourself. Someone who is keen on growing and developing themselves will do well at their job. Every company wants that kind of person. So don't neglect these things in your CV if you have them. If you don't have them, it's not a problem. But if you have them, do not neglect to put them in your CV. So a short rundown: your contact information, your personal statement, professional experience, educational history, your skills and qualifications, and your additional section. And remember what I keep hammering on: keywords. The job description is there for you. Infuse relevant keywords in your CV. It makes you stand out. Now, guidelines. If you're applying for if you're writing your CV, use clear, readable fonts. Don't go and you're not crafting a CV. You are writing a CV. Don't go and start using cursive writings, to make it beautiful. You can just see the CV on the screen. It's clear. At one glance, I get everything I want. Use clear writing, fonts 11 or 12, Arial or Calibri. You can make a screenshot of these or something. Arial or Calibri is best. Don't use Times New Roman, please. Arial or Calibri fonts is okay. Single spacing, font size 11 to 12, and maybe for the headings 14 to 16 is okay. And be consistent with the font. If you're using Arial, use Arial for everything. Don't use maybe Times New Roman for heading and Arial for the body. No, use the same font. If you're writing your dates February 3rd, 2024, use that same format from the beginning to the end of your CV. Don't mix your formats, your fonts, your style. Let it be consistent, and avoid using graphics. Except some people put their picture in their CV, and it's not necessary. Except, of course, you are asked to do it. But if not, please take it off. We will see your face during the interview. So avoid graphics, avoid tables and stuff like that, because most times when we get your CV, if there are graphics or there are tables in them, everything is disorganized. It's all mixed up, and we can't reach out to you to say, please send us another CV, because there are a lot of people who applied for that job, so we'll just jump over you. So avoid using graphics and tables and the rest. And like I said earlier, only use pictures when you're asked to. And make it brief. Recruiters are going through a lot of CVs, so make sure that yours is not boring or a chore to them. Make it brief. 2 pages is okay, especially if you're starting out. And maybe if you're a professional, you have maybe 5 years of experience and stuff like that and above, it should not exceed 3 pages. And the last, and I will even say the most important part, is tailor your CV to the job you're applying for. I keep hammering on keywords. That is one good way to do that. Make sure your CV has the right keywords. if you're applying for a customer service job, make sure there are keywords in your CV scattered everywhere in your professional title, your personal summary, your experience, your skills. Make sure it has the necessary keywords that are tailored to a customer service job. And one thing I didn't put here, which I would say, is always submit your CV in a PDF format. Microsoft Word will deal with you, because when you submit your CV in Microsoft Word format, when I receive it, it might be scattered. Let's say maybe you have a table or something. More often than not, it is always scattered when the recruiter receives your CV. So PDF sets it. So once you send it to us as PDF file, there are no alterations. So always submit your CV as a PDF file. Okay. So let me delve into cover letter. I'll read. According to Wikipedia, a cover letter is a letter of introduction attached to or accompanying another document, such as a CV or a resume. As we know, informal and formal letter. So your cover letter is like is a letter. It's just like a formal letter. So it should be a summary of your CV, a summary of your CV. That's just what your cover letter is. So what's the purpose of your cover letter? It's meant to catch the reader's interest and persuade the reader. If I ask you to send me a cover letter together with your CV, most times the first thing I read is your cover letter. Your cover letter will make me want to go through your CV. So your cover letter should be enticing. It should be persuasive. Tell me why you're interested in this job, what you have that will benefit my company and that will benefit us for the job. It shows that, oh, you know what you bring to the table and you know the company you're applying to. So your cover letter should make me want to know more about you. And it should make me understand the fact that, damn, this guy, this girl should do well at this job. Persuade me of your abilities. That these are the main purpose of a cover letter. Steps to writing a good cover letter. Research about the company. I remember when I left school, I applied to UBA. The very first thing I did, I went to read everything. In fact, I read everything about UBA. UBA history, I had it in my head. I researched the company values, the company code and all that. I researched everything I could about UBA. And that is what you should do for any job you want to apply to. Whether it's a big company or a small company, research. In fact, if you're being called for the interview, try to research about the HR, the recruiters, the top executives in that organization. So research all you can about the company, and also research about the job role. What are the latest trends in that job you want to apply to. Then based on your research and based on what you have in your CV, write your cover letter. And do not forget to proofread. We are all human beings, so we are bound to make mistakes. Proofread it, read it aloud to yourself. You can get someone to also read it and tell you if there are errors. And of course, hit the send button. Now, writing a good cover letter. Let's talk about the format. Like I said, it's just like a normal formal letter. As usual, your address and contact details should be on the top right-hand corner. And then the address of the company should be on the left-hand side below your address. And then the date should be below the company's address, the title of the letter, followed by salutation. Dear hiring manager, dear sir, dear madam, and then the body of the letter. The first paragraph should state why you are applying for the job and how you got to know about it. You know that saying, starts with why. Exactly. In writing your cover letter, you start with why. How did you get to know about this job? sequel to your recent vacancy as seen on Vanguard newspaper page this. I write to indicate my interest in this job, something like that. Tell us why you are applying for this job and tell us what job you are applying to. You see, your cover letter needs to be in line with your job. Why I talk about proofreading a lot is some people send the same cover letter for different jobs, and it's wrong. Because in your cover letter, I want to see why you are applying for the job. As much as I know the job you're applying for, I want to see the job you're applying for in your cover letter. It shows me that you're not just sending out some generic cover letter to everybody. So put the name, the title, the job role you are applying for. And then in the second paragraph, explain your CV. Talk about how many years of experience you have in so and so job, one commendation you got from one of your bosses, some of the numbers, remember numbers, put it there, succinctly explain your CV. Pick like three or four sentences. Sell yourself. Explain, summarize your CV. Pick 3 important things in your CV and put it in that second paragraph. And then in the third paragraph, talk about the company. Why do you want to work for this company? Which of their values strike you the most, and how does it align with your own value? And what value are you bringing to this company? And of course, the last paragraph, your call to action. You look forward to hearing from them, appreciation, and close the letter. Yours sincerely, the way you close the formal letter, your signature if it's handwritten, and then your name. And then in most cases, I also say you could include your phone number. So this is the format to writing a good cover letter. Remember, both your CV and your cover letter, these are your means of selling yourself. Don't sell yourself short. And remember, keywords. Infuse keywords in both of them. As usual, guidelines. Don't make it too long. Tailor each cover letter to the company and the role you are applying to. Use numbers, like I keep saying, use numbers. Numbers tell us you know what you're doing, you've done it, you got the results. So use numbers. Be creative. Try to be unique in your cover letter. Don't go copy something from somewhere or use general words. Try to be specific. And like I said, always proofread. We are human beings. We make mistakes. I don't want to see your mistake. No recruiter wants to see mistakes on your CV. I mean, you're trying to tell me you know how to do your job. If I get your CV and your CV is full of errors, it's a turn off. So make sure you proofread it, dot your I's, cross your T's, correct every errors. Make sure your grammar is correct, your spelling is correct. We have a lot of tools online that can help you with that. Before you hit that send button, if I get your CV and it's full of errors, I don't want to work with you. No recruiter will want to work with someone whose CV is filled with errors. You want to show me that you can do a good job. Let's start with your CV. And always send as a PDF file. The title or the subject of the email should be in this format. When you're sending an email for a job, application for the job title and then your name. Let's assume you're applying for the role of a customer service representative. Your job, the subject of your email should be application for the role of a customer service representative hyphen Echezunachi Hour. If there is a job reference number, you add it to the title or to the subject of that email. I hope I have some assignments here, but don't worry. I hope this has done justice to our questions, the questions that we might have in line with CV or cover letter writing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, I'm sure I have some time left, right? I don't know if you can hear me, Samuel. Do I have some time left?
Yes.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is principles for job application. this is a virtual tech fest, and I'm sure a lot of us who are listening to this want to apply for jobs. So once you've gotten your CV and your cover letter, if it's needed, you've gotten those ones right. The next thing is applying for job proper. So once again, I am going to share my screen to talk about job application principles. Okay. I want to believe you can see my screen now. Yes. So job application principles. Having a job is a critical part of our lives. It's like you don't have a job, you don't have money, of course. So it affects everything we do, how we live, what we have, our self-esteem, the way people regard us. But when it comes to having a job, it begins with applying for a job. And applying for a job, of course, begins with searching for a job. And unfortunately, job search can be very frustrating, depressing even if you have an amazing CV, cover letter, and all that, because it's not every job you apply to. I mean, it's not every job you see online that you apply to. You might not be qualified. You might not want to work in the company. You might not be in the location. And then you're not the only person who is applying for that job. When I go on LinkedIn and I put a job out there, before the end of the day, I have 500 persons applying for the job, and I need only one person. So it is important that you know these job application principles so you can have an edge over other people who are applying for the job, irrespective of the type of job you're applying for. So understanding job search. A good job search is aimed at jobs that meet a high percent of your requirements. I'm talking about the person who is applying for the job now, not the company. You're not just going to apply for a job just because you need a job. You're applying for a job to ensure that that job also meets your own requirements. You have financial needs. You cannot apply. Let me paint a picture. You cannot apply for a job that pays you, let's say, 40,000 naira, when maybe you're a family man, you have kids, they go to school. You know that job can't take care of your financial needs, so you won't apply for the job. And you need a job that also gives you prospects of growth, personal development that is not too far from where you live. You don't need to travel cross country to go for that job. So job search is like a full-time job. And the strategies you use in your job search, we also will determine what you get. So let's move forward to job application principles proper. A successful job search begins with having the right strategy in place and following proper application process using the right materials. It's not enough to have a well-structured CV and cover letter. You must follow due process. It's just like when I handle people in my career coaching sessions. There are things we go through before we even start talking about your CV and your resume, because the very first thing that matter in any job search is the individual who is applying for a job. You have to first evaluate yourself. Self-awareness. What are your interests? What are your passions? I have a lot of people. I run a WhatsApp TV, my career TV, where I talk about a lot of career things, answer people questions. A lot of people keep asking me, excuse me, ma'am, I'm a student. What type of job should I apply for? It's a question I get always, but unfortunately, that is not the right place to start. The right place to start is evaluating yourself. What are your interests? What do you like doing? What can you do? What amount of stress can you handle? There are jobs that will stress the living daylight out of you. Where are you located? What resources are available to you? Can you work online? Do you have electricity? Things like that. So evaluate yourself, evaluate who you are, what you can do, what you have. And then you conduct a research, of course, based on what you have come to understand about yourself. Conduct a research on, okay, this is my interest, this is what I can do, this is what I have. So what fits into all this? And then prepare your materials. By materials, I mean your CV, acquire the relevant knowledge or the skills, your cover letter, and of course, start applying for jobs. And don't forget to network with people. I think it was Grace, the last speaker. She talked about networking with people. It helps you. You learn a lot from them. You get opportunities from them. They refer you to jobs and all that. So, and always be interview ready. You're applying for jobs, of course. You want them to call you for interviews. So you need to be interview ready. And always conduct analysis on your strategy. I mean, if it's not working, I've applied to 50 jobs, I've not gotten one interview. Something must be wrong. So conduct an analysis. What are we doing? What do I need to change? It's like you're having a meeting with yourself. What do I need to change? This is not working. Is it my CV? Is it the dressing? Is it my composure in interviews? Is it because I don't have enough qualifications or experience? Conduct analysis to understand what is working and what is not working and the changes you need to make. Oh my God, I've explained all of this, but let me just read it through. Without self-awareness, there can be no personal development. So before you begin your job search, you must know what you have, where you are, what you want, and your personal preferences with regards to your professional career. And then conducting a research with regards to your findings during your self-evaluation. Conduct a research to know what is available to you. Available vacancies, hiring companies, their culture, people, and then the job requirements. And then you prepare your materials, your CV, get the necessary skills and certifications or trainings if you need them beforehand, and then connect with other people, connect with other job seekers, join communities, network, connect with even recruiters. There are recruiters out there who help people get jobs, who put people out there, and this my friend is looking for a job. If anyone in my network is hiring, please reach out. Recruiters do it. I think last 2 years I did that for a lot of people, of course, before so many things took over. I did that for a lot of people, and some of them got jobs. I know of one lady up to now, she's always reaching out to me, thanking me. She got a job in Cape Germany. She's an Indian and she moved to UK. So network with people. You can't do it alone. When it comes to job search, you can't do it alone. You need people. I mean, people will help you get opportunities, and it's people that will give you the job. So network, exchange ideas. They will even help you find out what is wrong, and then be interview ready. Nowadays, we have AI. AI is our friend. AI can help you with interview questions that are in line with the job you're applying for. Let's say you get an interview. Copy the job description and put it in, let's say, ChatGPT, and tell it to come up with interview questions in line with that job description. It will. And then use those questions to prepare yourself. Be interview ready. Build your confidence by preparing properly. Dress well. You are going there to sell yourself. And remember, don't sell yourself short. And conduct final analysis. I've said it before. Look at your strategy. If it's not working, look for what to change. And also look at the company you want to go into. Let's say you go for the interview. You've gone for a series of interviews. Make sure the company you want to work into fits you, not just you fitting the company. Make sure the company fits you. When I transition into working online, I work online. When I transition into working remotely, the first company I worked with them for only 1 month, and I wanted to die. After 1 month, I quit. My mom was hugging me and she was like, they wanted to kill my daughter for me. It was stressful. Like, if I get message from my boss, my heart skips a beat. That is how stressful it was for me. And she was not appreciative. She was always complaining. Actually, Funny enough, I was the only person working with her, and she had a lot to do. She had 3 companies. You can't have one person working with you for 3 different companies you're running. So I was dying. And after 1 month, I told her, "Ma, I beg, I can't. I beg, this is not the career I want." And I quit. So make sure you also research the company. Some people will tell you to ask the CV, why is this role vacant? In Nigeria, it might not work. The recruiter or the hiring manager might see you as being rude, but it's actually an important question to ask. What is the culture of the company you want to go into? If possible, see if you can get into a conversation with 2 or 3 people in that organization, maybe 2 or 3 days to the interview. If it's close by, you can go there, engage them in a conversation, get to know what it is like working in that company, because you do not want to jump out. Because if you get a job and the work environment is toxic, it takes you back to square one. You go and start looking for a job again, and nobody wants that. Job hunting is stress. So just make sure, as much as you're making yourself fit for a job, make sure the job is also fit for you. Final words. Recall that we said that a good job search is aimed at jobs that meet a high percentage of your requirements. This is because, irrespective of who you are, you deserve a job that is good for you physically, mentally, financially, and otherwise. I hope you follow these job application principles, because they will help you to decide and attract the right job and organization for you. No one does well in a job role and organization that is unfit or toxic for him or her. So remember, your job is a critical part of your life. Make sure it is the right one for you. That's about that on job application and your CV and cover letter. Of course, if you want to learn more about my work, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm actually very active on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. And then I'm on Instagram too. And I guess maybe I could give Nkechi details of my career TV in case you want to join. I share things there, answer questions and all that. So thank you, and let me know if you have questions.
Thank you so much, Eche. Thank you so much. I'm just trying not to pronounce it funny, but I think it is Eche Zunachi.
Yeah, you can call me Eche.
Okay, okay. We've really learned so much from the conversation thus far, and even while sharing your own personal experiences, with clients and all, it's also fun to hear from, an expert like you are, and how you're able to professionally handle such scenario, such case. But I have a question here,
Okay.
and the question here is just, you're transitioning from HR to recruiting. How can techies, effectively communicate their unique value proposition and expertise on platforms like, LinkedIn or, let's say, GitHub, to attract the right opportunities?
Okay, I would say 2 things. One, put yourself out there. See, people won't know who you are and what you do if you don't tell. There is no prize in being humble about your skills. I'm not saying you should go and brag, but I mean, put yourself out there. Let me say a little bit about myself. When I started in HR, I started as an intern. And what I started doing on LinkedIn, I started putting out content that are in line with people management, employee relation, things that have to do with HR. I was reading a lot about HR at that time. So anyone that hits, I make it a post and I put it out there. And then with my experiences at work, I put it out there. Let's say you're a graphics designer, be creative. Put your graphics out there. Let people know that this is what you do. Someone might love it and reach out to you. And then again, network with people, join organizations, communities, groups that are in line with what you do. It doesn't matter if you're starting out. you will notice that, let me put it this way. If you have someone who has been in tech for 5 years and you have someone who is just starting out in tech, but the person who is starting out is always out there talking about tech, social media is like a global market. Who do you think people will reach out to? The one that is always talking about it, because we believe, oh, he has so much knowledge about it. So put yourself out there. Don't be shy about your skills. Don't be what you're learning. You might not have gotten the experience, but you have the knowledge. It is the knowledge that will tell us, okay, this guy can do this. I got a HR, in fact, I got a HR internship by someone reaching out to me and saying, I think you can do well as a HR. I thought he was reaching out to me for a content writing job. And he said, no, Eche, I don't want you to be a content writer. I think you can do well as a HR. I think you can manage people. And I said, I don't have HR skills. I mean, I studied zoology to start with. I don't have HR skills. He said, yeah, but you can. I mean, we always start from somewhere. So you can intern at my establishment. And I did. I started reading about it. I said that it was tough because I was managing people remotely. I started my HR job as a remote HR. I was managing people remotely at different places. Our means of communication were WhatsApp and Zoom. It was tough, but I learned through it. And how? Because I was putting myself out there, especially on LinkedIn. I was always talking about people, talking about team building, communication. And just like I said in the job application principles, I first did a self-evaluation and I asked myself, what exactly do I want to be? What exactly do I want to be when it comes to my career? And I said, I love working with people. I love helping people. And so I started talking about people management, team building, employee relations, and stuff like that. And before you know what is happening, someone reached out to me for a HR job. It was an internship, but it was a good starting point for me. So put yourself out there. Talk about your work, what you know, the skills you have, even if you have communication with someone. And yes, that reminds me, what I was doing then was I was reaching out to well-established HRs then on LinkedIn. I'll reach out to them and I'll ask them for, let's say, 30 minutes to 1 hour of their time. And I'll ask them some questions, and they would answer. They would oblige me an answer. And I would write that as an article or put snippets of our conversation in my post. So as much as I was still starting out as a HR, I was building relationships with these people. And when people go to my post, they get lots of insight. So I think that really helped me too. So as much as you're putting yourself out there, the building relationship with the people you admire, the people you look up to is going to do wonders for you. I think I should have done justice to that question.
You've really done justice to that question, and it was
Thank
really fun
you.
having this conversation with you. And thank you so much for your time and for taking your time to explain the cover letters, the CV. I have written a lot of things down that I also will be putting in practice. I know, but I have one more question, one last question, and
Go ahead.
the question is about that food part. You know, how do you how do you manage to balance the you as as a recruiter and the recipe part,
And the food
that
part,
seems
right?
your husband's your favorite food. So how because
Don't
Okay.
I
tell
love
me
food.
because don't
I
tell
mean,
me because you like food. Don't tell me because you like food.
I love food, actually.
there's tech
I
food
love
now. Food
food.
is also food can also be part of tech.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So I want to
okay.
learn from her in that highest aspect. How do you do the balancing?
I
Does it
think
as
it's
a way
more
Okay.
of
of
define your
balancing.
career path? You know.
Mm, okay. These are, let me start by saying, these are recipes I see on Instagram. And I show them to my husband. I'm like, honey, this thing looks like, it looks like it tastes nice. And think I have things in the house to cook it. We could try it. Now, the next question is to find the time to try it. Prior to this year, I was working Monday to Saturday. Recruiter, I had lots of work on my hand. I had lots of clients, and I was working mainly with clients in the US. So, because of the time zone, sometimes I work from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yes, I didn't have time, but Saturdays I work half. a day, and then of course I have Sunday. This year I'm not working on Saturdays. I mean, it was too stressful, but I always try to carve out time. Two things: either I wake up in the early in the morning, let's say around 6. I love exercising, so after exercising I jump into the kitchen and I whip up things. And another thing that helps me is I buy things in bulk, so most times I have foodstuffs in the house, things I can use to cook up any of these recipes I see on Instagram or on YouTube that I love. So most times when I see one, I'm brooding over it in my mind. I've saved it on my Instagram. I'm like, one day I'll cook this food. So one of those mornings when I have enough time, I woke up early and all that, I jump into the kitchen and I whip up something. Let me give an instance. I was not exactly a fan of coconut rice. I always wondered, what is coconut doing inside rice? But one day I showed my husband, honey, come and see this video. It's coconut rice. He said, I think I've eaten it before when I was small. I said, all right, I could try, but I'm not promising it's going to be nice. And next time I went to market, I remembered, it was like months actually. I remembered, and I bought coconut and all those things and kept in the house. And one of those times when I had time, I said, yes, today we do the coconut rice. Went to Instagram, one of those saved videos, and I cooked it. And every weekend, honey, we don't have coconut. You not do coconut rice for us. So I think it's a thing of I plan ahead of time. I ensure I have because of the nature of my work, I don't always have time to go to market. So most times I go to market once a month and I buy in bulk. And that once a month I cook a lot and stock in the freezer. So I don't cook regularly. But you see all those little, and most times they are easy to do, maybe breakfast recipe, some sort of egg sauce, you mix this, mix that, mix this, something like that. And is like surprise me, surprise delicacy. So when I surprise him and he likes it and he takes the mental note of that. So one day he'll be like, Eche, you remember that you added baked beans and added this. Can you do it? So that kind of thing. So that's how I do it. It's not usually a big dish, apart from of course the coconut rice and some, but not usually a big dish. It's majorly breakfast, something nice. Nice. I love trying out new things. So it's like a beautiful challenge for me, especially when I do it and everybody likes it. Of course, I've done some that is like, no, we won't try this. That's just how it is.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, for sharing that. And hopefully you also share some recipes. Yeah,
And I'll try.
Yeah.
just my own recipe. Yeah,
I'll try. I'll keep it
Yeah.
in mind. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Eche. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And I'm sure the listeners have really gained a lot because personally for me, I'm not taking 2024 lightly. Like it's just now. So thank you for the entire information. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, my co-host, Ayomide. So, guys, this is it. We are done with our virtual Tech Fest 2024. I hope you really enjoyed it because I did myself. I enjoyed every bit of the event, starting from I enjoyed every bit of the event, starting from
Yeah.
Wilson, who spoke on navigating pathways in tech as a beginner and also dived into people that already experienced, down to Grace, who spoke on using social media to your advantage, and now Eche, who spoke on how you can get your CV attractive to employers. So imagine this power-packed information for you 2024. How did you see it, Ayomide? How was the event?
See, my head don't full. Let me say it in that English
How
because I've
was the
actually
event?
get to I've got to learn and also unlearn certain things, and that's how
True.
we grow in life when
In life, yeah.
we don't just learn and over learning. We also have to get to a point where we know, oh, we have to skip some things, we have to,
True,
unlearn
true,
some certain
true,
things and
true.
move forward. And this is actually power pack, as I said, actually power pack
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Wilson's segment fire.
Yeah, I think I
It
learned
just
something. I learned something from Wilson when he spoke on your value, right? And most times people I believe that when you're learning, you just start tech and you're learning, all of the habits and passion you put into when you're learning is what you over time put in your job when you get a tech job, right?
yeah.
Those are the things, right? And people when people are learning, I don't know, these days I see when people are learning and they're like they're learning the software, soft kid and all of that. I learned
Hmm.
mine in a hard way, guy. Like
Hey,
I literally knew all of the barbing salons, I knew all of the hair
wow.
salons, I knew bed shops. Like those were my spots. I had no choice because in Nigeria life can be crazy, so I just didn't want to give excuse. I just feel
Hmm.
that giving excuse for not doing something right is when you feel it is only when I've taken the 10 options and all of them are to know I've taken 10 trials on things and it's not
Hmm.
working, then I can say okay, it's an excuse. But not because okay, I can always have other ways to do things. Lately I hear
True.
people say, oh, there's no light, that's why I didn't submit my assignment. There's no this, that's why I didn't do the project. There's no You're already putting those are the habits you develop when you get a job. Because when you get a job, you find it difficult to go extra mile to getting light or power supply that can help you on the job run. And people should, when you are doing stuff, you do it with the fact that this could be you, right? I
Yeah,
hold
true. I
job
totally with
or
you.
when I'm learning, even down from, I think that's the thing from when you're learning, not even about the job you hold right now. When you're learning,
Okay.
hold it like this is you. People can see you in this thing, right? So you see
True.
how important, how jealously you guard it to ensure that okay, it is intact, right? So I really learned that from Wilson when he was talking
Then
about
in
values
the part
because
where he said
placing
we should learn the fundamentals and we shouldn't
very
skip
important.
the process. The process,
And giving
because
feedbacks and learning from getting
yeah.
feedbacks. I mean, let getting
Hmm.
feedback. I do that a lot. Like when I mean a lot, I mean a whole lot. Intentionally. That's how I don't know. Intentionally, I just want to. What did you say about this thing? I just did this stuff. What do you think I can work on, or is it better? What do you think? Because I just feel that's the best way. Not even because of the project or what I'm doing, but because of my own value, my own improvement, my own growth. So those are the things I
But
just
I
put
think
into practice
we
and
will
make
still
things
need to have
better.
probably a part two of this first because I have some
It's
questions for
indeed
this
a
too.
part two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
a
some
lot of
questions.
questions on
The
Slido,
time.
but really,
Mm,
there's no time.
mhm.
There's no
The,
time. There's no
the part
time.
of
We
the
are
feedback,
done.
there are some times that we get negative feedback and we don't even know how to handle them. Some people's feedback can be a demotivation to others. You get what I'm trying to say?
Regardless, right? Regardless, it's still feedback, and that's why you need to be up
Yeah,
and
it is.
doing. When people, I've seen times where people tell me these things you didn't do it well, like
Mm,
they might it's you need to learn that everybody cannot speak the way you would like. That's the first thing.
true. The
People
way we
cannot
see
speak the way you
things
would
is
like.
different.
Yeah, so if you can have it to your own self that everybody will not speak the way I like, and you are in this tech space, be ready for criticism, be ready for people to like, and it's not criticism in a bad way or in a negative way, right? Because you are portraying, you are showcasing your work. People will talk about it. It's normal. And when somebody is
True.
talking about it, that okay, this your design is very good, and someone say, your design is not too good. Don't look it from the
Mm,
angle of the person is like
is
sending
after
negative.
you, is
The
attacking
person
you.
is the person when somebody says something like that, check the person first. The person might be a pro in
Mm,
designs, right? So he's seeing it from the perspective of I am a designer, right? I am a pro in this thing. So not telling you that it's totally off. It's rather it's telling you okay, you can do better. So what you need to now do is look into that design. How can I improve? It's even funny part is it's even happening in where I work, right? And that's why we do sometimes we do like a short demo where we demo your work and see, and then the designers can just say, okay, I think you need to add paddings here and there. I think you need to do this here. They when you are developing, you have a lot of things and you're trying to meet up with time, and you might just escape some things here and there. But that's the designer's eye will be using their eyes as a designer to check your designs. They design what you should actually convert. So when they are coming from, okay, you need to do this, and that's why when developers always say developers versus designers, maybe they are fighting or something. It's wrong because everybody the end goal is for the the end goal is for the project to be done really. So when designers are coming from, you didn't do this well, you didn't, even when they don't talk in the appropriate way, just see it as, don't look at the person, look at the content. What's the person saying? This is what matters. How can I put it into my work and improve myself? You get, it's growth. And everybody get this bashing. It's normal. Even the senior pros, experts in the field, they'll tell you they've been bashed one time in their career life. You get. So, but because they didn't give up, and that's why they are senior, they are engineering manager, they are tech lead at their various companies now. So people shouldn't look at the bashing, rather look at the content and try to improve themselves. Hey, I'm happy we've been able to deliver just right to everyone on Tech Fest 2024. This is our first virtual Tech Fest. And I'm happy I'm still with Ogunyomi Ayomide Samuel. Samuel is actually a designer, funny enough, and I am a developer, front-end developer. Yeah, so we're actually in the tech space, and this is like a platform where we also learn from experts. So it's not just you that's learning, we're also learning. So we use this Tech with Eero as a platform where we get experts, tech experts, to come share their experience, to come share their to come give us information and all that would help improve our career growth. Because personally, for me, I love to improve on my career growth because it is only value that I can sell to company for them to see that I'm valuable enough. And to improve on that value is me improving on my career growth. So that's why I need people that will talk on tech informations and share information relating to tech or tech questions and all of that to us. So we have come to the end of today's event. Anything for us, Samuel? Anything for us?
Nothing much. But
okay.
For me, I just feel that no matter how much time we have to allocate to this first, if you don't take action after this, you just repeat, you just be
remain the same.
So
and you remain the same. Personally, for me, I've learned one, I'm going to put into improving my career growth. I'm going to put in more value into myself and ensuring all I do it well. I'm also going to be using social media very well now. I'm going to put all my little wins. I'm going to be publicizing it out there so that people can also learn from me, because really I've learned from people. It's very key.
Might be very good, and people don't even know that.
Don't know you. They don't even know you. Yeah.
It's just
and not even good. Most times, putting yourself out there would want to improve you because you don't want to put rubbish out there. So you have a need to improve yourself because people, when you're putting yourself out there, people want to be checking up on you. So you need to improve yourself so that when they come check up on you, they know that, okay, yeah, this person's really who she says she is or who he says he is.
And I like how Grace put it. She said social media is a tool. And when you see it as a tool, you can always learn how to use something. Sometimes you be like, I think this social media is a different word entirely. You can learn it. You can learn how to use the same way you learn how to, knot and to tie knots. The same way you learn how to do whatever skills that you are doing right now. You can also learn how to, do social media, how to post, how to schedule posting. In case you are you are as busy as Hero and you don't want to post, you can just pick one day, maybe one Saturday that
no, you're not doing this right. You're not doing, I'm actually busy, and that's why I have the team members doing all of this, organizers doing all of this for the community.
Actually doing a lot of amazing things.
Yeah, Tech with
Yeah,
Hero is
you're
not
an amazing
just
person.
me. We have community members, we have the team members, the social media guys, the design guys, the
Mhm.
content guys, and the host, the co-host. So everybody is coming
Shout out
together
to
to put in their
everybody.
works. And so shout out to all of you. Thank you for making this
Yeah,
event a great one, because really you guys you guys rock. You guys made it possible. Left to me, I really don't have the time, but thank you for making it possible for us to get this event together. It's nice. Share your thoughts, drop in your feedbacks in the YouTube chat. We'll follow up there.
yeah,
And if you want to know more about us, first is go check up us Go check us up, sorry. Go check us up on Instagram, on Twitter, and follow us. On, like, just
yeah.
click that button. Even on
Follow,
YouTube right now,
subscribe.
subscribe, because we'll be having a lot of guests. Like, February is not ready for us. Like,
Yeah,
February is not ready for us. Our guests in February, they are power packed. They are ready. They are ready. They are the people that are doing so
let me
well
use
in
the
the
word I
tech
used
space.
yesterday. A lot of we've got a lot of goodies for techies.
Goodies for techies, yeah. So
Yeah,
we
we got a
are
lot of goodies for
ready. So please subscribe so you don't miss out. We cover the data analysis, we cover the UI UX designs, we cover the
Yeah,
software development, we cover the AI, we cover every aspect you think of in tech. You
yeah,
can drop
yeah.
us your chats, the guests you want us to call on our channel,
Mm.
on our show. Drop us the chat. We reach out to them. We reach out to them. That's why we are here, just for you. We are the channel that connects experts with techies. So
I think you have to add action. You are the channel that connects.
okay, guys. Thank you
Thank
for
you so much.
joining
And
and
you
staying.
can also want to put out your own social media handle, so in case anyone wants to follow you.
Oh, okay. Like, my name is already here, so that's my name everywhere. It's just
See, see.
it's the same. Iro Nkechi Omolola, anywhere. People call me Hero because I love being called Hero. So
Hero,
that's it.
hero,
Yeah.
hero, hero. Yeah, and I am the IMD Samuel. Yeah, Obiyomi
Okay.
IMD Samuel. People don't call
Okay.
me hero.
So see you
They call
guys.
me the IMD Samuel. All
See
right
you
now.
guys
Thank you so
next
much.
month. That's Friday. And share this YouTube link to your friends that missed the event. They don't need to miss out from the content. And that's why we're using YouTube, because it is recorded. Bye for now. Let's enjoy some Little Rocks before
It's
we
been
leave the
amazing.
event. Let's enjoy some Little Rocks before we end the event.
How you play music?
Hey!
I don't know you check it sometimes, but then I'm gonna try it. Why are you dancing like this,
Hey!
man?
We've come to the end of Virtual Tech Fest 2024. Share it with your friends, follow us on all social media platforms, and subscribe. If you want to follow us from our first event when we started January, check us up on Spotify. It's still Tech with Hero. Check us up on all podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Radio Cast, Spotify, right? It's on all podcast platforms, Tech with Hero. And listen to our podcast from the beginning of the event up until now. See you
Yeah.
and bye.